Hi, Scorpio. I was just looking for my notes. Hi. Welcome to your October reading. Happy early birthday, baby. We are actually in the midst of planning a Halloween party for Scorpio season in New York. If you are in New York and you want to hang out for your season and attend a Halloween party, be on the lookout for some Eventbrite invitations. It's gonna be fun, inshallah. Okay, so the title of your reading is Revealed, and I want to talk a little bit about this retrograde and what it means for you. It's really important for you to understand that even though this is your realm, this realm of hidden secrets, it is not really in your wheelhouse to have your most hidden secrets revealed. So there's a part of you that's going to get off on the fact that other people are being exposed, but it's not so much fun when the rabbit has the gun. So we have to prepare ourselves mentally. The past, it's getting to you. Anything over the past few months that hasn't added up and you've just like let it go, you're like, okay, we'll talk about that later, or I'll ask you about that later, or I'll investigate that later. Now during Mercury retrograde, which began yesterday on the 27th, now you want to know. Now you want to do all the digging, you want to do all the investigating. And the thing is, it may end up revealing to you more about you than you want it to. Sure, you're going to find out things about other people, but you're also telling on yourself all over the place. So my advice would be to say as little as possible, even after the 18th. Just don't. You could find yourself in a very Karen Civil situation where you're just trying to make amends or say it how it is, and you end up telling on yourself in a pretty serious way without realizing it because your ego is speaking for you. So the best way to ensure that your ego doesn't speak for you is not to try and explain yourself, okay? You have Mercury retrograde in your subconscious. You're trying to explain yourself over here about this thing. Meanwhile, you're telling on yourself over here about that thing. Just don't do it. Just don't do it. Anyone can think whatever they want about you right now. Go with that. Because these hidden truths, they're being revealed by the most chump people. That's the worst part. It's not even like you're being found out by people who are, oh, so wonderful and you respect them so much. These are chumps. These are people that they don't deserve to be the ones spilling your secrets. They don't deserve to be the ones who benefit from your truth coming out. That's going to make you more mad than anything, right? There's also an opportunity here for you to see the truth about people. Sure, you see through your own bad habits and maybe where you're not, the best, but it also shows you where the people in your life are lacking. So you get a pretty good indication of what your bad habits are, where you are lacking, and where others are lacking. When your own bad habits are presented to you, you have two options. You can, again, try to defend and explain yourself, causing even more harm, or you can accept it. I've brought up my dad a lot in these particular readings so far, and I just think it's because this is Libra season and he is a Libra and he has a lot of Libra wisdom to impart. And one of the things that I've always had the utmost respect for that he does is that he'll be the first one to be like, listen, before you start gossiping and all you little scamps get together like a sewing circle, like she says in Pulp Fiction, and start gossiping, I'll just let you know. Anything you've heard about me is true. You think I'm a bad guy, I'm a bad guy. I'm worse than you think I am. But what I'm not going to do is explain myself to you. Think whatever you want. You think I'm the bad guy, I'm worse than that. Now what? Go with that. That's the energy. That's the energy. If you keep that energy, you will get yourself out of some pretty harrowing situations where you could be accused of manipulating people. You could be accused of lying. But if you're just out here being like, yeah, whatever you think about me is true. Whatever you've told me, whatever you've heard about me, you're right. Then what? Then what are they going to say? It's a time also where you figure out on a much more personal level what keeps you from being as grounded as you want to be. So, of course, that includes suspicion, possessiveness, control, but it's more than that. It's your habits. Which habits do you have? Which people do you continue to communicate with that you know they uproot your peace? So those people, those situations, those habits, you can start to get rid of. Venus moves into Sag on the 7th. That's really good for you in many, many, many ways. Oh, I love tarot. Venus moves into Sag on the 7th, and it's amazing for you. One, because you need a little space. Let's just be honest. No matter what your romantic situation is, what your personal situation is with friends or family, it's getting a little claustrophobic, okay? So you need a little bit of space. You're like, yes, Venus is in my sign. I know that you all want me, but like, can we take a rest? So people want space. You need space. The best thing that you could do is be a Sag about it. You need space, take space. I need space, I'm gonna take space. What I'm not gonna do is take it personally and try to control you, try to be possessive. Nah. Instead, focus this time where you have a little space and a little breathing room from everyone to think about this larger question. What's more important to you? Love or money? How important is money in love? How important is your money compared to their money? Think about it. There's no right or wrong answers, but you should know the answers to these questions. Okay? What's more important? Why is it more important? Where does that stem from? Where was that belief born? Can you use money to buy love? Can you use it to control people? Can you use money to control the people you love? If you try, you're going to find out that the answer is no. Libra is in Mars, and your subconscious wants answers. It wants answers from people who cannot give you answers. It wants you to take charge of things that you cannot control. So wherever you can, you may try to control with affection, with money, with love, with your presence. Don't. Instead, use this Venus energy in Sagittarius. Use it to make money. Use it to make money through collaborations. Use it to make money through just your presence. You know, your presence is vital to most people in your life. Use that, whatever that means for you. It's very easy around the 10th of October to make serious mistakes prompted by this Mars in Libra. So again, serious mistakes include telling on yourself. Be quiet. Okay. Also, around the 10th is a chance for you to really walk away from something that at one point seemed like a great idea, or maybe it was a sense of greed or wanting a lot that made you want to take something that it didn't really fit properly, but you were like, no, I want it. Other people have it. I want it. So I'm going to take it. Around the 10th, that can backfire, okay? Because the reasons you wanted it are not actually good reasons. So you may find around the 10th that something that you thought you were heavily invested in, but really you were just kind of doing it, gets in some way upended and you don't really want it anymore, or it doesn't want you. You don't want it, is what I mean, but I have to say it. Okay? Now, that doesn't mean that you give up on your wish. It doesn't mean that you can't have whatever it is that you are aiming for. It just means that this particular situation, it looked good on paper, but it's really not. It's really not it. You can, of course, get very envious when it doesn't work out, because why is it working out for other people? You wanted the same thing, it didn't work out for you. How come it works out for them? That doesn't seem fair. Don't indulge in that thinking. There's nothing there for you. Whatever this wish was, whatever this thing is that you really wanted, it's not worth letting envy into your heart. What we're not going to do is prove everybody right before your season when it comes to what they think about you, because they're wrong. They've been wrong. They just don't know you. People like to make things up about you because the mystery is too much. They can't take it. So they make up all these lies because it makes them feel better to think that that's who you are, instead of the fact that maybe you just didn't want them, weren't interested, they weren't good enough for you. Shall I continue? Okay. These revelations based around money, okay, the relationships based around money, all of this can lead to incurring some loss, okay? So we just want to put that out there and be okay with it. It's okay. Wealth is a trust that we all hold temporarily until the next group of people come along. So we don't want to get too attached. I saw someone actually misquote right now before I came on here to do this. I saw someone misquote once again, money is the root of all evil. No, that is not the quote. The quote is, the love of money is the root of all evil, not money. To think that money is the root of all evil is to set yourself up for failure, always and forever, right? Money is a tool, like a hammer is a tool, like a phone is a tool. If you're hating a tool or you're loving a tool, something has to change up here, yeah? You use tools. You can have a favorite tool, but to love the hammer makes no sense, yeah? You can appreciate it. You can acquire it. But to love it is irrational, okay? So we just don't want to get caught up in any of those envy games, money games, jealousy games. And we also don't want to give in to our past vices, where we have loved and left, where we have taken from ourselves, where we have been jealous. We don't want to give in to any of those vices. This is a new day. This is a new season. You're approaching your season. A new year is beginning for you. This is the last thing you want to do, is bring those bad mistakes into your future, okay? Now, Jupiter and Mercury go direct on the 18th, and all of a sudden your money worries disappear. Any stress that you've been holding, any fear that you've had, like what now? How many more things can get stuck? Everything starts to move. Everything starts to move. The rest of the season, the rest of Libra season, the rest of your season, the rest of the year moves fast, and you get the things that have basically been worked for but have been stalled, have been hidden, you haven't had access to them. Now you get them. And it's wonderful because, you know, you did the work. And it also means that you can stop striving and take a little time for yourself, because you've been working against something. You've been running up a downward escalator for so long when it comes to money, just trying to make sense of like, why can't this work? I'm doing everything as I always do. What's the holdup? Now when the money starts to come in, take a break. Take a break. Let yourself be. Now let's talk about your mentality. So the frustrations have built up just because of these delays. You know, you are used to a certain amount of fruition. You're used to working towards something, and then boom, you get something for it. And you've been working and working emotionally, physically, mentally, and there has been no fruition for so long that there's a lot of frustration built up in you. Okay, this can lead to super low energy. It can lead you to overthinking. It can lead you to feel like your luck is bad. It can lead you to feel super drained. So this is the time to say, you know what? I'm going to be the bigger person, and I'm going to do me right now. I'm going to take a little vacation. I'm going to get away for a little while. I'm going to get my head straight, because that's what's best for me. And since everything starts moving, money is good, your relationship life may not clear up as much as it may get cleared out. But that's also good, because we ultimately don't want to waste our time with anyone who's not good enough for us or who is not on a parallel path to us, okay? It's important also that you use this capacity that you have for so much love on yourself, because if you don't, all this frustration that's been piling up, it's going to come out in the most violent ways. You're going to snap at this person and take this person's head off, and they will not have deserved it. So we want to protect our karma by taking care of ourselves so we don't explode when we're not supposed to. Not to say that there won't be moments where you will really want to snap. I'm telling you, don't. Because no matter how much you think that person deserves it, they're not just going to get what you're giving them in that moment. They're going to get the brunt of months of frustration. So don't do it. The major takeaway here is that you're breaking free of old patterns. The thing about breaking free of old patterns is first you have to admit that they're there. Okay? So you take your ego out of this now. If any of the words that I've said, I can feel it on you. When I say envy, when I say jealousy, you're like, ugh, it really rubs you the wrong way. Don't take it as an affront to you. That's your ego listening. You want to get past your ego. You want to get to a place where you're listening with your heart. None of this is an indictment. None of this is to say that you're a bad person or that you're always manipulative, you're always envious. These are not characteristics that define you, not at all. But they are things that if you were to extricate them from your personality, you would be much happier. Your relationships could get deeper. People would be less afraid of you. Not that we want that last one, but still, okay? The most important thing is you will get unstuck. When you break free of these things, don't do it because you're worried about what other people will think. Don't do it because you're worried about being judged even by yourself. Do it because it will give you your freedom. Do it because it's the best thing for you. Okay? That's why you do it. That's why you're looking at your vices. That's why you're looking at your habits. That's why you're listening and observing this Mercury retrograde, not from the point of view of your ego. Remember, your ego is going to get so defensive, it's going to end up telling on itself. What you want to do is you want to pull back from the ego. You want to listen with your heart. You don't want to be defensive at all. Let me put it to you this way. Anytime in October where you decide that you need to stand up for yourself and explain yourself, look at my face. Remember my face telling you, stop. You think you're doing one thing, but you're doing another thing. You're going to hurt yourself way more than you can imagine. And in some cases, your reputation will be irreparably soiled. So just, you know what? You think that's cool. What I tell you, do what my dad does. Oh, that's what you think about me? Actually, I'm much worse than that. Now what? Oh, really? You think I'm a bad person? I'm way worse than you can imagine. That's just what you know. What about all the things you don't know? What are they going to do? They're going to tremble in fear, as they should. As they should. Happy early birthday. I love you. I can't wait to do the Halloween videos. I'm so psyched. Let's look at these cards. Hi, Scorpio. Welcome to the second part of your reading. Okay, so I'm eating a banana, just so you know. Every time I eat something with high sodium in it, I've gotten into this habit of eating a banana because I watch so many Dr. Burke videos. If you don't know who Dr. Burke is, again, this is not an ad. Oh, he's incredible. He's on YouTube. Find him. Okay. Have a little water. Make sure your potassium levels are good, people. Okay. The past is bothering you. But here's the thing. The people from the past that are bothering you are so not worth it. And it's definitely not worth telling on yourself. It's definitely not worth putting yourself in a compromising situation. So even after the 18th, please don't give these people any mind. These people are nothing. Let me say that again. Please don't give these people any mind. Let them say whatever they're saying, because most of the time, the things that they're trying to come at you with aren't even true. So don't even defend yourself. Don't do it. Don't do it. Just move along. Okay? You have Mercury retrograde in your subconscious. So whatever you see right now as an external is a reflection of what your subconscious is trying to get rid of, but it's got to go back into the past and deal with it before it can be gotten rid of. That doesn't mean that you need to interact with these people in your waking life. Don't do it. Just don't do it. The hidden truths that need to be revealed, most of them, if you play your cards right, are things that you need to take out of your daily routine, things that you're doing that harm you, things that hold you back and make you think small. Okay? So if you just don't pay any mind to what anyone else is doing and you work with your own secrets about you and you deal with it internally, you'll be fine. You'll see through your own stuff. You'll see where you're stopping yourself, where you're being manipulative, where you're being bad to yourself, where you're being unhealthy, where the connections you're hanging on to in the wrong way. Let it be that. Let it be a teachable month-long moment, okay? That's okay. But anything on the external that you feel like you need to work yourself up now and say something, don't say anything. Don't say anything. You keep to what keeps you grounded and happy, and that's it. Whatever takes you from your grounding, use that as the revelatory moment. That's your revelatory moment right there. This is what's keeping you from being grounded. Get rid of it. And yes, this is where your ruthlessness works to your advantage. Get rid of it. Anywhere where you see this vibe, this Five of Swords, get rid of it. And then we have Venus move into Sag. Boom. The most beautiful thing about this is that not only do other people need space, but you need space too, and now you have permission to take it. They want space, right? That's cool. So they've saved you the tough talk. I need space too. Whatever they tell you, oh yeah, okay, really? You know what? I agree with you. What they want to see, what they're expecting to see is the aggro Scorpio who's going to be like, oh, you want space? Blah, 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 blah. No. You're absolutely right. You know, I was thinking the same thing. Then see what happens. Then see how they try to somersault all over the place and try to make it your fault anyway, even when you're agreeing with them. Oh, that's the best part. I love when someone tries to make something your fault, but you're agreeing with them and you're just like looking at them like, did you not just hear me? I'm saying you're right. Just tell people they're right. You're right. You're absolutely right. Anything you think, you know what? You're right. You need space. You're right. You think I'm manipulative. You're right. You think you need to get away from me for a little. You're right. Oh, well, do you feel the same way? No, baby. We're not talking about me. We're talking about you. You're the one that has these concerns. You're the one who needs space. So you take space, but it also sounds like you need to. And I also need space too. Oh, but what are your reasons? Oh, no. I don't need to give you a reason. You have more than enough reasons of your own, it sounds like. Okay, make that Mars in Libra work for you. Use your subconscious in your favor. Okay, if they want to battle, they can battle themselves and look like a fool by themselves on that battlefield, talking crazy to nobody. Because here's the other thing. Nobody is interested in watching one person fight an imaginary, a scepter of some kind, a ghost. Nobody's interested in watching one person try to punch at the air. Okay? What they're gonna end up doing is a very like Tyler Durden Jack kind of moment where they're just fighting themselves. And if you want to watch that out of sport, or if people want to watch that, this is the type of person who wants to watch that. Everybody else is just like, this person's just screaming by themselves. Let them scream. They look like an idiot, and you're sitting pretty. You have nothing to do with any of this. You've washed your hands of it. Okay, sure, whatever you want. But then you have to make them live up to the consequences of what they want from you. So if they want space, give them so much space that they don't know what to do with it. Bye. You want space, right? You want space? No. No need to get into some sort of convoluted argument where you turn this into my fault. Okay? Because that's the thing you don't realize. You get so comfortable playing the bad guy that even when something is not your fault, you'll take that on and be like, yeah, you're right, I'm the bad guy. But don't let it into your heart. You tell them whatever you want to tell them. But as long as you're not on that battlefield fighting with them, nobody's going to think you're the bad guy. They're going to think the other person is crazy. Okay? So you just hold it together. Hold it together. And wherever you feel the need to manipulate, especially via love, via money, hold yourself back. See that as your teachable moment. I shouldn't be doing this. This is not good for me. This is not good for anyone. I'm not going to pursue this line of thinking. I'm not going to act on this in any way. And what ends up happening then is that you can actually create quite a beautiful community of people around you that want to collab, that want to help, that want to make money with you. And you just let it be that. It doesn't have to be anything more than that. Anyone who wants to, get into it, they're going to find themselves not only left out of the talk, they're battling themselves, but they're also getting left out of all the beautiful connections you're going to make and all the money you're about to make because of them. So it's actually a great thing for these people to want space. Okay? Because what that is the universe helping you. The universe is, my mom always says this. She's like, that person didn't do that. God made them do that. Okay? So whoever in your life wants to go, realize that the universe is making them go. You can't hold them even if you want to, nor should you want to. Go. Again, like your ruthlessness, use your pride. You have excessive pride, right? Use your pride to your advantage. Use it as a tool for growth. Oh, you want to go? Go. Bye. Bye. Oh, let me explain. No. Oh, but it's also, you're right. Oh, don't you want to talk about it? Or maybe we could come to, no. You said you want to go, I'm going to hold you to it. Now you got to go. But don't come back. When you see me out here making these connections, making this money, having the time of my life, then it's time for you to be a bit of a hard ass. You know what I mean? Because you're good at playing the bad guy, but inside you're a softie. You get your feelings hurt, and then you can't tell anybody about it because you have this image to maintain. But you don't have to do any of that. You can be as soft as you want in October. Because you're not getting into any battles, no need to put that armor on. You just stay to yourself. Because the people who love you, the people who know who you really are, would never do this to you. And they never will do this to you. So it's a great period of culling the herd. Okay? Let it happen. Let it happen. Ooh, they're going to get mad. Around the 10th, it's easy to make mistakes when it comes to being careless and being greedy, okay? So as long as you're not chasing the bag too hard, it's gonna come to you. You get into the habit in October of making connections. The connections will bring you the money. No need to chase the bag because that's where you're gonna get in trouble, okay? So boom, that's done. Don't bribe anybody, don't steal nothing, don't do any of those things because you'll get in trouble. Not that you would, but I'm just saying, okay? Now, any relationships that you have that are based solely on you needing money from them or them needing money from you, and that's all that relationship consists of, there you will see loss. And that's also okay because we don't want to stay in anything that is enabling us, okay? That is negative for us, but it brings us money, so we keep it around. No, let it go. These losses, if you handle them graciously, they become wins, okay? They're only losses if you react. If you have this sense of equanimity, you're letting things come and go as they want because you know that your deepest wishes are going to be fulfilled, let it happen. Let other people get upset. And then just sit back and watch. And also, don't give in to stuff you've done before. You know the stuff you've grown past. You know how much you've grown. You know how much better you are at being yourself than you ever have been. Don't let anyone take that from you. Don't let anyone cause stagnation in that progress that you're making. No. They are not worth it. You've worked too hard and come too far as a person to allow some moron to bring you back to who you used to be. Not that we in any way negate who we used to be. We acknowledge the growth of where we are now. That's it. So if I'm speaking from a place of growth where I am now, I got nothing to say to you. I got nothing to say to you. You can make up all the stories you want. You can say whatever you want. You can play the victim all you want. You can shoot arrows all you want. There's nobody here. Okay? They're fighting John Cena. There's nobody here. It's invisible. Okay? Go have that wrestling match all by yourself. That's cool. Now, when Jupiter and Mercury go direct, boom, boom, boom. The money clears up. You have opportunities coming in, something you really, really wanted. Okay. And it means even more after this period of stagnation. It means even more because you take the time to rest. You take the time to pull back and not engage with people who aren't worthy. So all of that good karma builds up, builds up, builds up. And then boom, when Jupiter and Mercury go direct, listen, it's almost your season. You take the time for you. You make your plan for the rest of the year and you're off. And all the hidden things, all the little machinations that have been going on behind your back, all the little battles people have been having with themselves, they become so clear to you. But here's the best part, not just to you, but to everybody. Okay? Let's talk about your mental. Don't let these frustrations build up. Don't let the lack of fulfillment and movement over the past few months get you into a place where you end up saying something that reveals too much about you. Say nothing. Allow. Okay? There has been a lack of fulfillment. There is low energy. There is a lot of being tired. That's okay. We're not going to find someone to make it their fault, because the perfect moron is going to pop up and say something stupid and you're going to be like, boom, that's my target. I'm going to take all of this out on them. No, you're not. You're too good for that. You've moved past that. You've grown past that. You're better than that. So we're just not doing it. Okay? Take a few days for yourself. Take a few days for yourself so you don't end up exhibiting this Knight of Swords energy. Take a few days, completely de-stress, okay? Because these blow-ups, they can really set you back. And we just don't want to do it. We just don't want to do it. We have been working, you have been working so hard and feeling like the sun just doesn't want to shine on your projects. And then all of a sudden, whoosh, everything starts to work all at once. So why would you, in the interim of waiting, blow up and mess with those seeds that you've planted? Absolutely not. We're not doing that. Okay? You are learning. You are learning because of who you are now, how these old patterns recur. And you're learning and you're watching yourself break them, which teaches you even more about them and about the pattern and about yourself. Okay, you are now coming into such a beautiful period of your life where these habits no longer hold you back. Your temper no longer holds you back. The petty no longer holds you back. There's nothing to regret because we're not spilling these cups. If somebody else wants to spill cups, rest assured it's them who feel like this. Because these are not your cups anyway. You have your cup right there. Thank you very much. Those cups they're spilling, they think they're spilling your cups, but it's their own. Ha, ha, ha. So it's a beautiful lesson, October, in karma as well. And when you feel that karma is on your side, when you exhibit patience and resolve and commitment to who you are now, karma's on your side. As long as you have that, you don't need anything else. Okay, because the universe is peeping everything that you're doing. The universe knows how bad your temper is. The universe knows how much you hate betrayal. The universe knows how deeply it hurts you. But for you still not to react and be the bigger person and keep your commitment to your own growth, of course the universe is going to support that. How could it not? Okay, because what you're exhibiting is an enormous amount of self-love. And that's at the heart of why these people are trying to mess with you anyway. They hate to see it. They hate to see you happy with yourself. They're so much more comfortable with the Scorpio who's going to go out of their way to do X, Y, and Z for everybody else because they're not good with themselves inside. But when you're good with yourself inside, you're looking at everybody like, can I help you? I mean, I do for me and my people, but who are you? Can I help you? That's why they're mad. That's why they're trying to trigger you in the first place. So we're just not going to fall for it. Okay? I love you, love you, love you. I will see you in the extended. The part 1 was already on Patreon yesterday. Part 2 will be on Patreon. The extended will be on Patreon. You can subscribe to the Scorpio tier or the Scorpio plus the Za tier, which is Scorpio part 1, part 2, the extended, and the walking meditations, which are phenomenal, if I do say so myself. And yeah, so either one of those tiers are for you, Or, of course, the Vimeo option, the PayPal option are still there. And I would like to make one thing clear, and I'm gonna make it clear in every video. If somebody hits you up on Instagram and is asking you with a fake account that looks like my account, that they wanna give you a reading, know this for sure. I will never, ever, ever, ever solicit you for a reading. I have never messaged anyone and said, hey, you wanna have a reading? Absolutely not. There is a link there's a link below for Cameo. The link is also in my Instagram at The Quietest Revolution, where you can get a recorded 7 to 10 minute reading through Cameo. If it is not through Cameo, it is not me. Okay, there's no PayPal, Venmo, Cash App, none of this business is going on here. It's either Cameo or it's nothing. Once a month on Cameo, we do live readings, which is face-to-face like FaceTime. You can sign up for those, you can sign up for the recorded reading, it's all good. Anything else, it's not me. Please be careful out here. Okay? Don't get caught. Don't get caught by these scammers. I love you, love you. I'll see you in the extended right now.